why Americans, foreigners, expats, digital nomads are all leaving Portugal. Or are they? Man, stay to the end of this video to see how the Portuguese local truly feel about the influx of all foreigners coming into Portugal. What is poppin', y'all? It's your boy LaBoss, and listen, in the past couple years, there have been an influx of foreigners arriving to Portugal off of digital nomads, D7 visas, golden visas. With the opportunity to work remote post-COVID, there was a boom of expats arriving into Portugal. Portugal gives you amazing quality of life, weather almost 365 days a year, and more. So how come a lot of people are suddenly leaving Portugal? What happened? Let's get into it. The number one reason, in no particular order, people are leaving Portugal: privilege. Now listen, life is all about mindsets and perspectives. It is a privilege to live and come to a country like Portugal with other currency. If you are coming from the US, the UK, your currency is stretching and going a lot further. Now, the problem with that is a lot of Americans, when they come to Portugal, they are coming with the same privileged mindset from America to Portugal. You need to learn, you need to know that the way the Portuguese and Portugal operates is different from America. I had to get my water, man, because I'm getting thirsty. So listen, 9 times out of 10, if you are leaving America and coming to Portugal, you're looking for a better quality of life and trying to leave behind the American mentality. But if you bring that privileged mentality and mindset to Portugal, and you're gonna quickly realize and get frustrated because the lifestyle here in Portugal is just different. Let's go right into the next reason: the bureaucracy. Just keep it real with y'all. The way the bureaucracy here is in Portugal, some of y'all are just too weak. Yo, you're just too weak. You're not going to be happy with how the bureaucracy here is. Everybody has dealt with the bureaucracy here in Portugal, whether you are a local, an American, a foreigner, whatever it is. The Portugal bureaucracy, my friend said it just like this: Portugal is Africa with a Gucci belt. The bureaucracy here, everything is slow. Whether it's dealing with delays on your visas, trying to get a driver's license, simply filing a complaint, or trying to open up a bank account, the bureaucracy in Portugal is one like no other. That ends up driving a lot of people to get frustrated because, especially if you're coming from a place like the US, the speed in which things are done here in Portugal are slow. And here's some examples of Portugal's bureaucracy. People right now have to call IMA, which is formerly CEF, just to get an appointment for an extension of their visas, getting the status on their current visas, getting their residence card. There's lawyers and law offices that hire people just to simply make calls. There are people here in Portugal that are overstayed off of their current visa while they are waiting for their residency appointment. But here is the thing. You just gotta know, Portugal is a country that's not gonna come knocking at your door. The police aren't gonna stop you in the street and ask you for your papers. So certain things like that, you gotta just wait and just be patient. Another example of Portugal's bureaucracy, I have a classmate that went to the police station. He said there was 4 officers in there. They were working on a current complaint. One officer came to him and said, "Go to another police station or you may be waiting an hour or two just to file a complaint." There's some situations you just have to be patient, suck it up, and just realize that it is what it is.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
Next reason why expats are leaving Portugal is the salaries. Now listen, the salaries in Portugal are low. Yo, listen, it's low. It's one of the lowest, if not the lowest in Europe. So a lot of people, a lot of expats, nomads have had the opportunity to come to Portugal amidst having different currency, remote jobs, having a business, or whatever it is. Now, certain situations may have arisen and they have either lost that job, the business failed, and they are now trying to have work with a Portugal company. The thing with that is, it took away from the original reason why they came to Portugal, was to have their money stretch. The Portugal salary is low. This is not just why Americans or foreigners leave, it's the reason why Portuguese locals have to leave Portugal after college. A lot of them will leave, they'll move to the US, the UK, Dubai, other countries in Europe to make more money, and then later on in life they end up coming back because Portugal is an amazing country to live. Now, all Portuguese locals that I know that live comfortable in Portugal, or we'll even take that another notch and say Lisbon, they are either working for a foreign employer or they have foreign clients. For example, if they're in real estate, they focus on American clients and Chinese clients. If they're working with a company, they're working with a German company, they're working for a global company, or whatever it is. So the salaries in Portugal are just not sustainable, and a lot of people end up leaving. I know Europeans that come to Portugal, work with a Portugal company, months later they leave because they are struggling. Which brings me into my next point, housing prices, especially in Lisbon, whether it's to buy, especially to rent, have risen. So the reason of why a lot of people have came to Portugal, as these prices are rising, them finding themselves leaving. Here's what I'm gonna say to that, because especially you have a lot of foreigners, expats, Americans, whatever it is, complaining about the rising of prices. I'm not even Portuguese, and I feel their frustration, because here's what I'll say. If you're coming to Portugal with other currency, odds are you make more money in Portugal than the average local here in Portugal. So if you are complaining of the rising of prices, imagine how the locals feel. Yo, they like, what's going on? So for the locals, they are finding themselves definitely have to leave amidst the high rising prices in Lisbon because they cannot simply afford it. That being said, if you are here in Portugal and you take your time to find the right apartment to rent or the right place to buy, and you block off all the complaining naysayers and negativity of everybody else complaining, you will still find that you can find affordable places for you and what's best for you. The next reason why expats are leaving Portugal is integration. Now, no matter what country you are from, and no matter what country you go to, you have to somehow, somewhat integrate. Find a local friend, learn some basic words of that language. Out of respect for the locals, they will see and appreciate that you are trying to adapt and just be a part of their culture. Because what happens is over time, you will find yourself again comparing the lifestyle and the culture to your previous country. And I've come across people here in Portugal that say things like, the Portuguese are closed-minded and don't talk to me. Well, bro, are you even trying to speak their language? Give yourself an example. Imagine you're in America and a Portuguese person is speaking straight Portuguese to you. You're gonna be like, bro, what? So again, integrating will make you feel more a part of the culture and more at home, and you may start to find things that you truly, truly love a lot more than the previous country that you came from. That brings me to my last point. Another reason why a lot of expats are leaving Portugal is a phase versus home. Now, what I mean by that, a lot of people have came to Portugal on the phase, right? On the boom. A lot of other people are flocking to Portugal. They may not have even done their research or take trips to make them see why they themselves like Portugal. They came on the phase. So there's something in Portugal I call the Portuguese wall. Everybody's gonna go through some type of BS in Portugal. I'm over here spitting. Let me get some water. All right. Some type of BS in Portugal due to the bureaucracy, due to the slow pace of the country, and everybody deals with it. So you have to have some type of bigger why of why you want to be in Portugal. Because for some situations, when I can tell the story, I will, it's going to be a lot on you, right? So versus the people where this is their home. They came to Portugal because when they came here, when they arrived here, when they visited here, they saw themselves living here and being here, and they saw Portugal as their place of home, settling down, coming here with their family, raising a family, retiring, or whatever it is. So again, if you don't have a bigger why, you will then find yourselves leaving when the phase starts to leave. Now, that brings me to the end of this video. How do the Portuguese truly feel about the crazy influx of expats and nomads and foreigners arriving to their country? Here it is.
You need to leave!
But no, for real though, on my next video, I'm going to do some street interviews where I'm interviewing Portuguese locals and getting their perspective. So listen, if you rocking with me, if you came this far in the video, make sure you subscribe to the channel. It's your boy LaBoss. That is my name. This is the LaBoss Show. I'm going to be heavy now on Portugal content. Agora, e também eu falo português. Então, listen, make sure you like this video, comment, subscribe, comment below what you want me to ask Portuguese locals. And if you are an American or an expat, comment below what are your thoughts on living here in Portugal. Let's get all the perspectives. You watching the LaBoss Show, baby? God bless.